And, I mean, you've seen Loop. We know Loop. Loop's often played a lot. So, I mean, I don't know what you're thinking, GP, but I think we're going to get a lot of big stuff here.
Well, you got to look and see that 5D2, they're going to have alpha spawn. And there's some advantages. That double island in B provides a lot of tactical advantages. It also can be a trap. So you got to make sure that you don't get stuck into it too much, and you don't allow the cruisers and battleships at C to be able to push up far enough to be able to crossfire into those rocks.
And I know in clan battles this last season, where this map had ended up happening a lot for the clan battles, it was deadly. Granted, yes, there was CVs, so that made it different. But even in the non-CV games with the battleships and your more standard King of the Sea comps, B was just, if you lost A or C, B was gone as well because you couldn't defend it.
That's true, and I mean, you're seeing most teams.
Oh, and just to interrupt you, it looks like we're going into ship bans, so let's swap.
Okay.
And it looks like PN is starting the bans, ladies and gentlemen, and the first ship banned is honestly a little interesting to me.
It's
with the Venezia
surprising.
getting banned. Yeah. Not expecting to see a Venezia. Venezia, we've seen them sometimes, but I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
On this map.
Yeah.
That's definitely unique.
Especially with the island cover. This isn't much of a map, I think, where you're going to have kiting Venezias. I would be using them.
Well, there is a place in A. There's an island where if you kite them all the way along the left hand side of the map, you can put them up on an island. But let's see, 5G2 gets the next ban. Let's see, they get the next two. Let's see what they're gonna pick.
Yeah, and just going back while we wait for that pick to the Venezia, the more I see it, the more I can understand it. I still question it as the first ban. I think there's some other stuff I would have said first, but maybe this is a hey, PN's thinking 5D2 is gonna ban what we want banned, so we can go for some of our ships that are lower down the line, because they're thinking maybe they're going to ban that small end or that Stalingrad, and then PN doesn't have to worry about it.
Well, and this could be a confidence move too. This could be similar to QQ7's yellow camo. They're going to say, we're going to ban Venezia, and we're going to ban I don't know, the Sommers. Like two ships that don't really play. But if you think back to PN's strategy yesterday, they brought in 3 DDs. So if I'm 5D2, pardon me, I'm banning DDs. I'm gonna make them work really hard at what DDs. We know that they use a Daring, we know that they use a Smolensk, and we know that they use a Shimon.
Yeah.
So
and honestly,
those are high on my list.
That makes sense for the Venezia ban as well, because one of the things Venezia is going to do that Venezia does very well with that sap is shreds DDs. It absolutely shreds the DDs. So
well, and that's you know based on that they're going to be bringing in 3. Mm-hmm. I'd be shocked if they didn't.
Yeah. I think that's a clear they're going to ban DDs. But now here comes the question of what is 5D2? We're still waiting for 5D2 to give us bans, so we're still waiting for 5D2.
They're all here. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, they're missing 1.
They are missing 1, but so back to Loop just a little bit. Back to Loop for a second. I'm going to switch mine back to show the map. I think especially with that Venezia ban, just so you guys can visualize, you see you can send the Venezia up those edges, so what's blocking out there? It's forcing the DDs, it would force the DDs into using islands and smokes, and Petros and such with their radar would block that out, so I do think that's a good call.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday. What is the way to beat PN? And the answer is to kill their DDs. So if 5D2 did their homework, and we know PN did their homework based on their ability to double DD into B yesterday and quickly cap. If 5D2 did their homework, they know while they're not going to get a lot of sights on these DDs, when they do see them, they want to be doing 4, 5, 6,000 damage per salvo.
And if you haven't seen, 5D2 did just ban their first ship, which is the Des Moines. They're getting those radar cruisers out of there. Pretty strong bow tanking ship, the Des Moines, with good HE and AP, plus that radar, which is deadly. I'm not surprised that we're seeing a Des Moines ban now that I think about it.
See, I'm questioning the Des Moines. If you look at Loop, there's a lot of islands to be able to bring radar cruisers close, but not too close. So I'm thinking Stalingrad, I'm thinking Nevsky, I'm thinking Petro, thinking that 12. I guess what they're worried about is they're probably only going to be bringing 2 DDs, or maybe, God forbid, 1 DD, and they don't want that long radar. So if
Hmm.
in order to do that, they're accepting the fact that there's going to be short radar. They're accepting the fact that there's going to be Stalingrads most likely. Okay, they get one more ban. Let's see what they do.
I think you could see a Petro here as the ban. I definitely think I could see a Petro Pavlovsk coming out as the ban if they're going for that radar ban, because the Des Moines and the Petro are
And
very, very
nope,
similar. Wooster, Wooster,
Wooster.
Wooster,
All
Wooster.
right, if you're 5D2, what's your thought process behind this? I'm very
Um,
confused.
honestly, I don't even know.
Have we seen PN bring out a Wooster? Okay, and we have our last ban
Yeah.
from PN, which is the Yami. And
So Wooster and Yami are our last two bans. That should be updating on your screen momentarily, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So these bans are interesting. These bans are definitely interesting.
it's not what I expected. So again, you know, it looks like, and we haven't. Have you watched 5D2? I've had a chance to watch 5D2. Maybe they have someone with the strength. We know one thing about PN: they do their homework, and I think they've got some. They must know something that we don't know. There must be a very good Venezia player. There must be a very good Yami player. As for PN, as for 5D2, did we see a Wooster yesterday? We know that they went up against a Wooster, and we know that there was a problem
Yeah.
with that. So why eliminate that? Why not take that? I mean, do you think that they think maybe
I think
PN game planned for it?
here's the thing I'm starting to think. I think I know why 5D2 went with the bans they did. Because the concealment. Because those are the stealthiest radar cruisers if I remember correctly, because the Wooster with the concealment module gets down to either 10 or 9 kilometers on its detectability range, and it's got a 9-kilometer radar. So you've got a very small gap there between detectability and radar, so it can get up and close. So I think 5D2's thought here is we're going to get rid of those cruisers, then get close. Because, yeah, you have Petros and such, but they can't get as close because of that detection. I think.
Give me 1 second.
But I don't know. We will see. This is going to be interesting. This is interesting. I think looking back at the Venezia now, the Venezia is definitely, I think we're going to see PN bringing in a lot of heavy cruisers because the Venezia with that sap can't shred them because they banned it.
Well, and it seems like PN, their entire we saw Stalingrads, we saw. Did they bring in Thunderers yesterday?
No, they brought in Kremlins.
They brought in Montanas.
Montanas, yeah, that's right. Montanas.
So they brought in Montanas. They brought in Stalingrads. They brought in They did have a DM at one point in time. So, I mean, at least 5D2 got that. But like, I never saw Wooster, and the only thing I can think of Wooster wise is they think that was the counter for PN, and maybe they think they planned against it.
Yeah. And I think the other thing, just as a quick reminder before we go into this chat more, just remember, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're watching the chat. Both GP and I are giving away codes giving you 5 resource containers, which is 2,000 to 6,000 coal. Gonna help you with your next coal ship purchase, so make sure you are getting in on those giveaways. I believe the limit is 3 codes per month, just as a heads up. So if you've already won 3 codes, I don't believe you're eligible for any more, but I've heard they might update it to 5.
Okay. Well, and for sure, be sure to we'll be giving away stuff throughout the entire thing. Make sure you stick around. And from here, just so everyone knows, we're going to be casting this game. We're going to transition. If this game doesn't go 3 games, we're going to try and find a 3rd game. But then after that, the winner of the 007 versus Troyer, which I really thought was Poi. I'm so confused.
I am so confused as well. I thought it was Poi as well. I 100% thought it was Poi.
And KIA versus A-Ship. But I mean, there's bans. If any of my viewers know what happened with Poi, please let me know.
Yeah,
it's popcorn
same.
Bacon. I agree.
Same.
All right, so it looks like they're all ready. Let's see. We have 5D2 is going to be alpha here first. So
yeah, 5D2 is going to be alpha. So let's get this ready. We are just waiting, ladies and gentlemen, at this point for them to be ready to start. 5D2 will be starting with your alpha spawn you're seeing on the map picture. And PN will be starting with the Bravo spawn to the south of the map.
Okay, everyone's saying they're ready. All
And
right, yeah,
here
here
we
we go.
go, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
And I have a golden retriever that wants to play fetch right now.
Mm, my puppy's dozing. Okay, let's see. Oh, and no surprise here. Oh my gosh, no surprises here. Which side do you want? You want PN or 5D?
I'll take PN.
Okay, so I'll start with 5D. On 5D, you are getting, once again, as I dub it, you're getting an Iron Curtain. All Soviet bias. One or two Moskvas, four Stalingrads, a Petro, and double Kremlin.
Well, and PN, if you did your homework, there's no surprises here. They have a Smolan, they have a Daring, they have a Sommer. They brought in their 3D.
By the way, 5D2's taking a
And
little... Oh, sorry, finish. My apologies.
No, go on, go on.
I was going to say 5D2's taking a partial lesson from QQ7. About half their ships are kitted out in the orange camo.
Really?
Really?
So, I mean, this is the exact same layout we saw on this map yesterday. They're going for B, and again, if you're 5D2, you have to ask yourself, where are your caps coming from? They're trusting that they're going to be able to coordinate radars the entire time to be able to put pressure on these DDs. These DDs yesterday, they did an amazing job of staying alive. And if they're able to stay alive versus all these radars, I think 5D2's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
They have no counter to these DDs.
Interestingly enough, 5D2 is completely abandoning B. They're sending 4 ships, a Moskva, 2 Stalingrads, and a Kremlin towards C, and they're sending 5 ships, the Petro, Moskva, 2 Stalingrads, and a Kremlin towards A. Now, the interesting thing with this is, as you look at it, you're thinking, okay, so 3 to 4 radars per side. If your radars are 25, 30-second radars, you're still going to be able to basically keep everything constantly radared. So that is definitely the plan.
The question is, can they get those guys there safely without the Montana and the Stalingrads shooting at them? So right now you have PM. They're going heavy A, which makes sense. They've got a little bit of support for B, and they're sending Stalingrads, Sommers, and Montana to C. So it looks like an even split. It looks like this is kind of what they did last time, with the exception of this corner Stalingrad it was a DM before.
Yeah, and that might just be they plan to have it be a DM, but remember the Des Moines got banned by 5D2.
Yeah, that is true. And guess what? Again, PN, they get B for free, and it looks like that Smolan's going to be able to move over to help out with C. So not only did they get a full split, but they were able to cap B early on, and guess what? The points are taking in their favor. All right, looks like they also have the Sommers capping a C. He's got Torps out. Daring is a little bit slow to get over to A. But let's keep an eye on this Sommers, and let's see if he gets radared out, what's going to happen.
I've got to feel that the plan 100% here for I've got to feel that 100% the plan that 5D2 is going for is they're just going to bow in and charge. I think that's the plan we're seeing here, because this isn't a designed lineup where you can combat a DD that effectively unless you're pushing up and blocking them out.
Yeah, well, and right now, the Iron Curtain plan seems to be falling apart because the DDs have capped B, they've capped C, and they've been able to move back. So they're right at max range for these cruisers, and it seems like they're just going to be able to chuck Torps.
Yeah, and we'll see. I mean, it looks like over at C, they've dodged quickly. 5D2, yeah, you've got 20,000 health off of Intoxic, but they're getting ready to push in. And like I said, they're just going to say, we're going to push in and we're going to challenge you.
Sure, and I mean, I think that's what you have to do. You have to do it collectively as a group, but they're going to face a torrent of torpedoes. If you look, there's torpedoes everywhere, and hopefully they're able to coordinate. I mean, 5D2 is a good team, but they got to make sure that they coordinate their radars, and they got to make sure that they coordinate their hydros.
Yeah. Now, okay, the interesting thing here, one, Daring just got spotted at A, and so they're firing at him.
Take a look.
The other thing I'm thinking as I look more at this is just, it's going to come down to Torps, because you're looking at the health, and it's 112,000, 113,000 health differentiation. It's flirting between 110 and 120 right now. So it's going to come down to
That's a matter
DDs.
of a couple Torps. Yeah, that's a... And if I'm PN, I'm pretty confident
Oh,
in
Stalingrad's almost gone. Over at C. And Toxic is at 4,000 health.
Sommers got chunked down though.
Yeah, he
So
did.
so that's not a bad trade. They're able
Uh-oh, I
to
think
put some
Stalingrad's going
damage.
down to a Torp, though. He might get the dodge off. He's swinging it.
He dodges.
He dodges, but does he have the... Nope. Monty finishes him with an HE salvo.
So when you go Iron Curtain like this, the advantage you have is firepower, and they've got to make sure that they are constantly shooting. If they're not constantly shooting, they're constantly going to be getting torps, and they have to make sure that the torps don't bring the HP down to a level where it's almost even, and it is almost even. They've already cut it down by 50,000.
But
So
I will say at
PN's
this point, though, look at the map. If you look, PN or 5D2's got a straight line across the map, basically at the E square to F square, and they've taken 2 caps, so they are actually in line to win this game based off of points. So at this point, if you're PN, what do you do to bring this back? Your DDs are in retreat because of the fact that they are getting radared anytime they get close to a cap. So how do you bring this back at this point?
Well, if I'm PN, like if you look right now, they've got almost a flying V, and they've had control of all 3 caps for the first 5 minutes of the game. They just now ticked it over, so they have a buffer. They have a 3-minute buffer that they know where all the ships are. So what's interesting about this is you have all of these ships. They're not going anywhere. They're going to sit in this cap, and that just means you can throw torpedoes in there over and over and over again, and eventually those torpedoes are going to start to hit.
Agreed. I mean, if you look, the weaker side, the C side, is getting chunked because they only send 4 ships there, and they're doing a really good job focusing. Their Moskva is about to go down, which is going to leave them with 1 radar, the Stalingrad.
Yeah, and he's on double fire, and he's being focused down.
Which is exactly what PN needs to do. Now, this was a PN map pick, I believe.
Correct.
So this caveat, this is PN probably coming with the plan. There goes the Moskva.
So now they're backing up with C. PN has an advantage on C, and they 5D2 needs to push really aggressively with A. Otherwise, they have 5 ships committed to A. They only have, and this is what's interesting, they only have 3 things to shoot at here. The Stalingrad, which he's getting chunked, but against 5 people, that's not bad damage. The Montana, who's almost full health, and the other Stalingrad, who's almost full health and has a crossfire on them.
That's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what's going to happen here. I mean...
Look what's happening at C. So they've already switched focus to this next Stalingrad, and they've got him 50%. The focus fire for PN is amazing.
That being said, this Stalingrad is playing the DD, and if he gets in there safely, he's just going to sit behind the island. As we heard in the video, you know, this island does provide that protection.
So, again, you got to give credit to these DDs. Look at it. It is 12 minutes into the game. They are playing against 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 radar cruisers, and they're still alive.
Yeah.
Not only are they still alive, they're threatening.
Yes.
So Stalingrad's made the right decision. He's gotten safe, but he's taken away his ability to shoot. That's going to put a lot of stress on this Kremlin.
Yeah. It is. Incandescent, though, now is getting forced back. I mean, you look, their Moskva's at 30,000 for PN. Their Stalingrad's at 39,000 right now. So they're being forced back. They're trying to challenge on the seaside. This honestly might come down to how the Stalingrad does this. Now, they do have the Smolin that's snuck in and is preventing the sea cap. And they've also got a Summers that's got torps out on that Stalingrad. He may not know those torps are coming out on him. That is going to... We're going to have to keep an eye on that because that might kill him.
Stalingrad radars, but there's no one that can shoot at this Milan. So it's actually quite smart of PN. They brought in a DD to challenge, and by doing so, they've eliminated the problem they had, which is 2 caps.
Oh, they found the Summers, though, and the Stalingrad's putting shots out towards him. 6,300.
Come on.
And now Stalingrad's pushing forward, so he's going to dodge that first set, and he might dodge that second set. Meanwhile, just looking at A, they need to do something because they're all sitting in A, and there's nothing on that side of the field almost.
Well, and again, they only have 3
look at
things
Longboarder.
to shoot at.
Longboarder's making the challenge charge towards the islands at the edge of A. He's trying to get to that island in between A and B, I think.
Right now, PN's done a good job of sticking 5D2 into A, and at a certain point in time, you almost have to have one of these Stalingrads or Moskvas kind of back out and go threaten B, because B is the problem right now.
Well, I think that's what Longboarder's trying to do. He just had to, but he's getting chunked by a Monty and Stalingrad that are over there. Summers is down to 5,200, and that Stalingrad is still alive right now.
I mean, all three of these DDs are still alive. This is some of the best DD play I've ever seen.
Yeah, their DDs have been good every time. Their DDs.
I mean, imagine coming into a game, and there are 7 radar cruisers, and you're a DD, and you're expected to cap and kill.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I
So
don't
it looks like
disagree at all.
the Stalingrad's making a slight move here, and the Smolensk countering. He's able to fire on the Montana, who is slightly broadside to him.
Oh, the Smolensk and Stalingrad are playing a game of chicken right now, really, at sea.
Yeah.
It's a game of chicken on who's gonna get hit first.
Well, if this Sommers is able to move forward a little bit more,
Ooh, that's a
he's gonna
misfire by
have
5D2, straight into the island trying to hit the Monty.
Oh man.
That being
this
said, with that
Stalingrad
Petro
is
out on the
squeezed.
edge now at A, they do have angle on Naruvo in that Stalingrad, and they are chunking him. He's at 30.
Yeah,
he's at
Moskva just took a
42,000.
big hit.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm the caller for 5D2, I'm sitting here going, there's a Stalingrad, Moskva, Montana now for us to shoot at. You need to focus fire on one. Up, they see the daring, but they miss him. So you've got 4 ships. They need to coordinate who they're firing at, and they need to take someone off the board quickly.
Yeah, like that Summers that's still sitting out there trying to force the Stalingrad out. Kremlin's charging now. Kremlin is full speed shoving. I don't know what his play is here, but he's full speed charging into the cap.
And by going forward, he's exposing himself to the Sommers Torps.
But the Sommers already
got to do something.
The Sommers Torps are already out. Stalingrad's going to take 1, but the Sommers Torps are already out.
Well, no. The next rack is
okay.
going to be heading for the Kremlin.
Yeah. Stalingrad's taking 2 torps here.
But I think the reason why I did it is because the Montana charge freeing up the Smolensk.
Yeah.
How did they get that Montana in there?
I mean, if I'm looking at 5D2 and PN, I'm looking at PN's stuff. It's just, you see yellow, 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 yellow. They're just not getting the focus fire. Whereas you look over at PN's team, it's high orange, green, green, 2 ships in the red, and 2 ships in the low to mid yellow. So they're focus firing better right now.
Well, Kremlin has made his move, and guess what? He's DCP'd, and there are those Sommers Torps.
And he's
and
slowed
they're
down.
going to hit him, and he's going to flood. Well, he has to slow down because he's either going into the Montana and Stalingrad.
Yes, there's the flood.
Yeah, there's the flood, and that is a perma
Oh,
flood.
and there goes the Moskva over at A.
At this point, the Kremlin almost has to ram the Montana.
Yeah, almost. But even that doesn't help you. You know, you're down 340 points.
You're down ships. But if you could take, you're in trouble. Okay,
Stalingrad and Kremlin are charging both sides of him.
Oh boy, that was big hits on the Kremlin.
Yeah, Stalingrad and Montana. That being said, this is a actually really good play in terms of getting a ship off the board. It's not going to matter because the Kremlin's dead.
Milan Torps.
Yeah, look at those. The combination of Torps between the Summer and the Smolensk.
No, but they were able to take down. Yeah, they were able to take down.
Yeah, but that goes the Kremlin off the Summers Torps. And that's going to be game with the death of the Kremlin. And 976.
Yeah, I think that does it.
Yep.
So again, you know, we talked about, you know, that if you did your homework, and you
actually,
like
interestingly enough, you look at it, Red's not holding any of the caps. I just realized. They've got to kill it. They're going to win off of killing ship, but
they're about to take C.
Yeah, good point.
And the Stalingrad had to back off. They have B, points tick off.
Yep, that's game in 30 seconds. That's game in 30 seconds.
I mean, again, look at the strength of PN. All of their DDs lived. They lived through 7 radars.
Yep, and that win is PN. I think I liked the strat from 5D2, but I don't think they did their homework. If they'd done their homework and they would know that PN was constantly taking 2 to 3 DDs, they would have banned the DDs. So I think they come.
Yeah.
I think you
Uh,
come back with some DDs here. I think you come back with some DDs bans here for Land of Fire.
I mean, you've pressured them. I don't know how you could pressure the DDs more.
I don't think you
I think
can.
that Venezia ban was smart, but I don't even know if they would have brought him in. You've got to kill these DDs. These DDs are crazy good.
And you've got to, I think it's not even killing them. I think it's banning them. I think you have to ban the DDs. I think you have to say, you know what? We're going to ban out your Smolland. We're going to ban out your Summers. Yeah, you still have DDs, but now we're going to force you onto second and third picks, and we're going to say, we think we can outplay you.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that all of these DDs are specialists in their specific ship type. You're seeing a Daring, you're seeing a Smolan, you're seeing a Sommers. I mean, you gotta give one of them their ship. So what are you gonna give? And I think you take out the Smolan, and I think you take out the Daring. Believe it or not.
I agree. And let's watch the cinematic for Land of Fire before we go into ship bans for the next map.
All right, here we go.
At the extreme southern tip of South America lies an archipelago rich in history and diversity. Soon, these storied waters will play a host to a heroic clash between opposing forces, and the region will live up to its name. This is Land of Fire. Land of Fire is a 48 by 48 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running in a line from east to west. The A cap is on the left, B is in the center, and C is on the right. To the west, the island in the center of Capture Area A makes it a challenging cap to acquire early. Teams commonly park a radar cruiser in the cap to push away enemy destroyers while preventing either team from capturing the zone. Cap B in the center is wide open with plenty of ways in and out, and is initially the purview of competing destroyers. If combat shifts to an east-west axis, it's common to see some spectacular mid and late game pushes through the center of the map. On the right, Cap C and the islands to the east make a tempting target for teams looking for early cap points, but teams who invest too much firepower along this edge of the map may find themselves at an extreme disadvantage later in the game. 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Land of Fire.
And so we have Land of Fire next. PN is trying to get that quick 2-0. Quick heads up, PN will be the alpha spawn. Bravo spawn will be going to 5D2. And while we wait for ship bans to start coming through, what are you looking at when you see this map, GP? When I look at this map, I'm seeing big island in A, I'm seeing small island in C, and lots of islands. I'm thinking, if I'm, once again, like I said, if I'm 5D2, gotta ban the DDs.
I mean, you absolutely have to ban the DDs. There is the little turtle-looking thing in C. There's a really strong place to be able to put a Stalingrad or a Moskva or a Nevsky, and I think you just eat that because it's abundantly clear the strength of the PN team is in their DD play, and you got to do something to upset that.
Undoubtedly.
All right, we got our first round of bans.
And let's see, first ban is in, and our first ban, oh, let me reset my bans.
See, I can't reset. Do you know how to reset that?
I don't know how to reset. Okay, so you're going to see the bans, but we're going to update them as, oh, reset team.
No,
nope.
that doesn't work.
That doesn't, okay.
So the first ban is the Venezia.
And that PN, is the PN ban
same.
again, so we're going to still see that one. But we will be updating the other ones as we go because it does not give us an option to go to no ship.
To reset them, yeah. So I just won't show it until the end.
Yeah.
B's a tough cap, but again, 5D2 they have to have DD players, and the thing I'm wondering about this, when we watch PN versus AP after that first match, they swap players out. 5D2's going with the same lineup. It looks like. It
does look like. We'll see. 5D2, that being said, they're definitely discussing because they're being a little bit slow through. I do think 5D2's plan last game was good, but they didn't account for the DDs.
There it is. There
it is. The Summers ban comes in.
Summers gets banned. Yep.
No surprise. Now, I think PN has a plan to counter these bans because you have to know if you're PN, they're going to be doing these bans. But what is the plan?
I mean, so you still have the small land, you still have the daring. Let's see what the second ban is. I think if you go that, like, you still have options. You have a Shima. Shima works here, but you're taking these people out of their comfort, and that's, I think that's the more important thing. So far, PN has been able to bring in what they want with the people they want. We haven't seen them have to switch anyone out. 5D2, they've just lost a game, and they lost a game, where they should have been able to kill a DD. So you got to ask yourself, how are they killing the DDs? And they don't ban
Oh,
the
that's
second
an
DD.
interesting. That's a Moskva ban for the second 5D2 ban, just to keep you updated if you're having trouble keeping track. So far, PN with the Venezia ban, Summers and Moskva for the 5D2 ban. Do you think we see the Yami ban again for PN?
On this map, there's not a ton of crossfires. I mean, I don't understand it. It has to be they're targeting someone.
Yeah, it has to be. So let's see.
Because you can Citadel a Yami from so many angles. It's a very risky ship to be able to take in. I mean, they must have a Yami specialist. Yep, there it is. It's
There's the Yami. So just to do a quick transition, because they are official, there's your bans. It's got to be they think 5D2 has a really...
I mean, they must. Well, and also they're afraid of Yami's overmatch potential. So that if they're bringing that in, that means they're probably going to be bringing in some lighter cruisers. I mean, here is... I mean, you're still allowed to bring in Stalingrad. You're still allowed to bring in 2 of your ships. Okay. Oh, okay. Wait, I'm seeing something here. What's happening? 5D2 is leaving the room. 2, 4, 6.
They've got 7 right now.
4, 6, 7. So are they bringing in subs?
I think they might be. Are they allowed to bring in subs after the bans?
You can bring in whoever you want. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure if there was a limit you couldn't. So are they bringing in specialists now that they know what's banned and they've had people watching?
So.
My bet is they have people that have been watching.
Wait, they're all leaving here. What's happening?
6 are leaving. Yeah.
So
what?
We've got 6.
I'll just put the casual question marks in chat. I'll put.
Maybe they had 3 Yami specialists.
Maybe they did have 3 Yami specialists.
So they swapped in players, and this is what I want to see.
Yeah. Well, and Toxic that's coming back in. They're swapping captains. That's what it is. Because at least they might be swapping players, but they're definitely swapping captains for ships.
Got it.
Because they're figuring who's got what we need and what can we do with it.
Well, in an organization like 5D, you got to have that depth. You got to have the bench. Okay, no, longer board's back. Was Maverick here the first time?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just they swapped ships. So apparently they picked three ships they were planning on bringing.
Mm-hmm. I think so. That's interesting. We'll have to see.
I mean,
we'll have to see where they're going from this. We will have to see where they're going from this.
PN has definitely done their homework.
PN,
you got they take this seriously. They want to win. Again, you gotta question.
That being said, I'm questioning actually before you go into that. Why the Sommers over the Smallland?
I don't know.
That's what I'm questioning.
The Smallland brings a bigger package.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
Wow, GP.
He's got a bigger
wow,
package.
GP. Okay,
No,
anyway. You're right, though.
It makes sense to get rid of the Smallland. It makes sense. So last game, what were they? They were most afraid of the Sommers. The Sommers was on the A line firing torps across. That's not what ruined the game for you. What ruined the game from you was the Smallland. The Smallland and the daring, I think.
I think you're completely right.
All right, so referees checking. They're both good. So this time we're going to have PN and Alpha and 5D and Bravo. It doesn't. The map is relatively the same for Alpha and Bravo, so I don't think any team gets an advantage on this.
Yeah, there's no. It's gonna come down to just what does 5D2 pull out of the hat to what does 5D2 pull out of the hat to beat PN and take it to a third game?
All right, we're going. Hopefully.
Here we go. Yep. And this is gonna be overlay A. Because PN is the alpha spawn.
So if PN brings in 3 DDs again, if I'm any team watching in this division, knowing that I'm going to go up against them, they're predictable. I'll say this: they are disciplined, they are excellent mechanical players, but they're being predictable. And guess what? They bring in 3 DDs. They just switch the Sommers with the gearing. I mean, I think this is a
Yeah.
big
Okay,
weakness
so
for PN.
I'll take 5d2. We're getting some changes here. So for 5d2, and let me find them. 5d2 is going to the triples DD setup. They're taking a Smolin, Daring, and Daring in. And Toxic has switched from a cruiser to Daring. On the cruiser front, they're taking in 2 Des Moines and 2 Stalingrad. And then here's the big change, which is interesting to me: 2 Shikishimas.
Well, and for PN, we just talked about it. They're predictable. 3 DDs, triple Stalingrad, Des Moines. So apparently 6A is a Des Moines specialist because if he gets that option, he brings it in. But then they're also bringing in the Montana. So if I'm 5D next time, if I'm not gonna, if these DDs just are untouchable, I'm taking the Montana out.
Amjan,
Let's
stop touting your own clan in my chat. We all know you're a PN member. He's like, I heard PN is pretty ape.
I mean, right now, you got to give them credit. You know what they're doing, and they're still winning.
They're saying it's the cockiness and the ability to back it up with the what we're doing, we're still going to do it. On the 5d2 side, you got the Daring, you got the DD splitting into the 3 caps. Small and straight towards B, Daring going towards A, and other Daring going towards C. I do interestingly find the Smallland going into B to be interesting because of the lack of smoke that it has.
But if I'm reading the PN playbook, it's game 2. They're taking 2 DDs, they're putting it in B, and then they're immediately gonna switch it over to C. So like they're predictable. They're very predictable. Let's see if it works. Let's see if this Smolan can do something to stop this quick cap in B.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. On the other hand, that's gonna let the Daring get straight into C for the cap. Like, that's definitely going to let 5D's Daring get straight into the cap. Just a quick update. You got one Shiki pushing hard with the double Des Moines towards C to support that Daring. You got the other Shiki and a Stalingrad flanking wide at A. And you've got Dejected Minion pushing up to that island at G45 right now. Which is going to give him, if you look at that lineup he's going to get, anything and I'm looking at it right now. If you go to that line and assume he's sitting on this island, he is looking straight down towards most of C. He's got a line if they push wide at C or try to sit on that island at D9 and push to the outside. So we'll see where he goes from here.
Well, and I think you're seeing the first time that PN's plans are being slightly disrupted. The Smolan's in here, and that means there's a Stalingrad, Des Moines, Stalingrad, Montana moving over to C, and they don't have DD support yet.
Yeah.
So that means that this Daring could actually take control of C.
Yeah, Smalland used the radar. It did find the Daring at B and forced out the other Daring. So that's big. That's a big start. On the Monty side, the only thing the Monty has to shoot at is it's trying to shoot the Stalingrad. Does the Stalingrad have... The Stalingrad takes a little bit of a hit, but it's sitting right on that island. It's giving it perfect block.
Well, we've seen people on this island before. It hurts to be Dejected Minion right now. As soon as they're able to get the right angles, he's going to be getting focus fire, and he's going to have to back up. For now, it looks like he's okay.
Now, is the Smolland going to challenge? The Daring's trying to smoke in because Smolland's used the radar, and he's trying to come in and say, we're not going to let you cap B. I don't think either team's going to get B here.
Oh, Smolan is being focused by 5 people right now.
Holy.
Whoa, this is what you need to do to PN.
Yeah, this is a picture-perfect example of what you're supposed to do. Now, Smolland gets out, but still, at what cost? Half his health is gone.
But he did delay
and
C.
They did get a decent chunk onto the Smolland to B. Now, if I'm the Daring, why is that Daring not into C yet?
He's backing in.
He's backing in. He took the long turn. He took the long edge, which you could have been taking up so many points right now.
Well, and the problem is he knows the moment he hits this point,
and the
Stalingrad is radaring him.
Yep, that Stalingrad got blapped. Shots out from the Shiki onto the Montana, and Kaiser Wilhelm is turning broadside onto them. So
and
let's
there's
see.
The radar. As soon as he hits C and he runs. So we're seeing a difference in DD play. The PN DDs, they have some amazing skill that I want to know what it is. I want to study it. I want to replicate it, and I want to put it in my own game. They have some crazy ability to be able to go into the cap, get radared, and live.
That being said, Dejected Minion is playing this beautifully. He keeps peeking out, taking the shot, and then backing up before the Montana shells can hit him. He's still sitting at that 62,000, and he just dodged an entire chunk of Montana shells at a broadside because he has that timing down.
Well, it looks like it looks like 5D2 have committed the minimum amount of resources to A, and just like C on Shatter, you're gonna see them just kind of go back and forth. I don't think a lot's gonna be happening here. You're gonna have Stalingrad shooting on Stalingrad. It's gonna be a who has a better shot fight.
Mm-hmm. Up, Smolin detected again. Longboarder tried to push back into B, but he's been detected again. That being said, if I'm PN, I'm having to sacrifice 2 DDs to try to stop B right now. The Daring hasn't even moved over yet. And how is this
Well,
Daring not taken C yet?
He got every time he backs in, he gets radared, and he's skittish. He keeps, let's see, he's in here, he's radared, they're shooting at him. So great discipline, great discipline with their Stalingrads and trading radars. Like C cap is tough. There's no place for him to run and hide,
Yeah,
and the
there's
moment he
not.
touches that, he's getting radared and he's backing out, and he's getting punished for it.
He is indeed getting punished for it. Just an update, little bit. PN is holding on to about a 30,000 health lead right now.
I mean, again, these double DDs. We saw this yesterday. The poor Smolan, he's got to go against 2 DDs. They're doing a great job. So what PN is doing a great job at is they're using the 2 DDs. They're overpowering things. But then the area that they don't have DDs, look at it. They're basically just saying, like, try me. Come in to see what happens. We're just watching and Toxic go into the cap, out of the cap.
This is going to be big.
Again.
This is going to be
What do you
big. I don't think 6A knows that there's 2 Des Moines there.
This Daring's about to get torped.
Which Daring?
Oh no! Wow, God, they have like
But
a
no,
sixth
no.
sense.
Look, 6A. If 6A pushes around, I think he only thinks Junkie's there, and he's about to get a brilliant shot. Or does he? Because that Des Moines is going to come around, and both of them are got a guns over for him, and they're ready for him coming around that island. 6A might have just made a big mistake here.
Oh, there it is.
Like, yeah, there we go. There we go. He's getting shots from Internet Tough Guy and Junkie. Junkie's backing up, and he's getting hammered. But you didn't have to give up that. You didn't have to give up that shot challenge. And
Yeah, but look how much damage they're putting on.
But
Internet
right now
Tough
it's
Guy
the
and
ship
World War II
need.
Junkie.
It's the ship needs, and you just forced that Des Moines out of. You just forced 6A out of the game, I think. Or did you? Did he get? Wow, 6A got away with highway robbery there. He should have been dead for that, and he got away with highway robbery.
I mean, the good news in this is the Daring was able to cap C. The bad news is the Des Moines 6A. He was out of place. He was broadside, and the focus fire of PN. They shot blind over islands, killing the Des Moines, and they've halved this other Des Moines. He's in trouble.
I cannot believe that Des Moines did not. They did not kill 6A there. 6A should have died. That was a 6A. That had to have been a mistake by 6A. In my opinion, even if that's a plan, I don't think it's worth it, but it paid off because 5D2 messed up.
Yeah. A's still sitting in limbo. B.
That being said,
I
I think 6A is going to go down now because you got a Daring firing HE at him and just spamming him to death.
But
Yep, there we go.
There he goes. Okay, so the Daring has taken control of C. The caps are basically the same. The only difference in this game right now is PN has an HP advantage and a significant one.
Yeah, at that. Almost 60,000 plus. Now, the Daring 5D2 Maverick has smoked up, and so he's just pelting that Monty with fire. If he can start hitting, if he can get fires on that Monty, that's big. He does have a, oh, he does, I forgot it's the electric. He does have fires on that Monty. So that Monty is ticking down. He's putting out a lot of health on him.
So one of the things that's interesting, and these are elite players, but I've noticed with the Daring, he stayed in one place, he smoked, and I think he just realized it. There's not a lot of smoke. He's probably going to be getting torped, and now he needs to move out.
Been detected, and Smallin's gone.
Oh, this poor Smolin.
He pushed up a little too far, and when he got detected, he was just at too many ships' mercy.
Yeah, they focus fired him. So again, let's take a look at PN. Their DDs are all alive.
Yep. Once again,
it is incredible.
If you are a team that has to play PN coming up, and you're watching this, or if you're thinking toward tomorrow in playoffs if PN makes it, that's got to be your first thing. Ban the DDs. Force them onto. Get the Smolland off, get the Summers off, force them onto things like the Deering and Garing that aren't as comfortable on.
You got to make him uncomfortable, but look at Swiss Cheese. He switched to the Gearing. He's full health. He's controlled A. So it's while he's not influencing the game like in a point positive way, he's influencing the game by having full HP and by holding a full cap.
Oh yeah, and the points are holding steady right now. It's just under a 200-point lead, but it's once again 50,000 health advantage and a ship advantage for PN. So if you're 5D, what are you doing right now? What is your play? You say, I've got to do something to bring this back. What are you doing? And this Daring's getting charged.
Oh no. Well, I'm looking at my Shikishimas and I'm saying, where's your damage? I'm taking my Shikishimas and I am focusing them on the damage dealers. The damage dealers are your Stalingrads. So while you can, while I can speak highly, hold on. The Daring spotted.
Yep, I know.
Well,
I've been watching that.
These DDs are. The gearing is. I mean, oh man. I think this is the end of Maverick.
No,
Let's
I
see
think
if
he
he
gets
can-
out. He's going to get out. Smolland isn't shooting him at all right now because Smolland's trying to stay undetected. Plus, he doesn't have the angle. Daring's going to get undetected pretty soon. Meanwhile, the interesting thing is...
And then they switch. The Smolland has it. Oh my goodness.
Now,
These
I
DDs
will
are
say on the
crazy.
far side, 5D2 is pushing their Des Moines up the flank. He's not going to be detected, so he's going to get an angle on this incandescent Stalingrad, but I don't think that's not going to be going.
Well, look at the Shikishimas right now. The
Yeah.
Shikishimas, they are anchoring this team.
Mhm.
They are spread out, but they need to start focus firing. So one of these two Shikishimas should have an angle on something. But again,
There we go.
the
Shikishima
Stalin-
is hitting that Stalingrad. He just took 13k off of Naruto.
There we go. And you need to have that happen. You need to punish them, and you definitely need the Shikishimas to be doing the big damage. That's why you bring them.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a lot of very focused torpedoes on Naruto. I think he misses them. Oh, they're short too. Yeah, they're short. So again, Daring's able to cap the stronghold that 5D2 had worked so hard to get. They've lost.
Yeah. Daring won't be able to finish the cap. He'll be stopped,
they're-
but they're not
they're
going to get the
pushing-
points.
They're pushing Maverick. He's in trouble here in A.
Yeah. They feel the blood in the water. And those torps
Yeah,
are
Montana's
unfortunately
right
not going to hit the gearing.
No, they may hit Montana though.
Yeah. Well, gearing's going to detect them. Montana should be hitting the brakes right now.
And it looks like he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not even moving. Man, you got to give PN credit. They have like a sixth sense for torpedoes.
They really do. It's also just sometimes I'm questioning the shot selection on what they're choosing. I think their focus fire is not strong right now.
Spillane comes in. He radars Daring. I think this is the end of our Daring.
Hmm. Let's see. He's getting hurt.
Yeah, he was able to get to the island, but again, two caps uncontested.
Yep, Daring's
PN
down. Daring's gone. He's at 900. He's
And
smoking.
Daring at sea, yeah.
Oh, he did he brought it out somehow still. He did not drop. Now, you
This
do have
second chicken needs to
5D2
move
challenging. They're pushing into B now. They are pushing into B. You got that going for them.
6A is all planned, they're saying. All planned. And I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
I mean,
If
I
that's a
don't doubt
plan,
that at
I
all.
still question the plan, though, because that... Let me be clear. No disrespect to 6A. I know he's a brilliant strategist. I've talked to him before. I've watched him play this season of King of the Sea. But to push into the 2 Des Moines was a really risky strat that he got lucky paid off for him.
So
I don't-
Des Moines got broadside on the Stalingrad. Let's
there
see
goes
if
the
he-
Daring.
If he punishes him.
Yeah.
Wait, he shoots over him? No.
No. Only 5K off the first set.
Overpens, yeah. And it
5K
looks like
again.
the Montana shooting. He's got 3 people
3K.
shooting at him. So even when you get PN in a
That being
kind of-
said, he does have another broadside on a Stalingrad. Oh, but he takes
yeah,
11K.
but he just took a ton from the Stalingrad. He's got the Monty and this other Stalingrad that's going to be firing on him. He's dead.
He's just trying to put as much damage and get that Stalingrad out of there if possible. Though he's going to switch fire again here to Incandescent, probably.
And the Monty shells are there, and I think that kills him.
Yep.
Yep. I
And
mean, they're down 3
600
ships.
points. 600 points, 3 ships and a cap.
I think this is game. PN, I mean, you had to do something about these destroyers, and I keep saying it, but look again, they're all alive. They're all alive.
Until someone does something about those destroyers, PN's going to be a force to be reckoned with. That being said, what I'm going to be asking as we go forward is, what is PN going to have ready? Do they have? They should. But what are their strats, and what are they prepared to do, and are they going to be strong when their 3 DDs gets countered successfully? Because someone's going to counter it successfully.
Yeah, well, and I mean, but they have to. These DDs, they're bulletproof, man. I don't understand how they're able to stay alive this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the, I'm gonna be looking through this play with a fine tooth comb to say, like, they do the right thing for the right situation. When
Oh,
there were
yeah.
7 radars, they capped right away. Which, if I did that, I get radared and I get killed. But
Yeah.
somehow they were able to do it, and then they backed off.
Yeah. It's brilliant play. I mean, 5D's trying to make a challenge here. It's a little too late in my opinion.
Yeah, I
25
think
seconds.
we're in trouble here.
25 seconds, and it's gonna be game over. They need a kill right now. 15 seconds. They might actually lose the daring. Nope, not gonna lose the daring. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, PN is going to move on to the winners bracket. And 5D2 drops to the losers bracket.
That those DDs, man. I cannot speak highly enough about them.